Hello friends, in this video we will discuss about the cell theory. In 1839, the two German biologists M.G. Skeldin, who was German botanist, and Theodor Schwann, and who was German zoologist, they proposed a theory to explain the structural and functional aspect of the living body, or to explain the structure and function of the living organism. This theory is commonly known as cell theory. So that under the cell theory, they made the four statement. To understand the cell theory, we have to understand all these four statements made by them. So first come to the first statement. The first statement is the body of all living organism is composed of minute units, the cells. This implies, or our first statement implies, though our body appears to consist of a single unit, but our body is not a single unit. Our bodies consist of small units. These small units are known as the cells. As like our body composed of cells, the plant body also composed of many small units. These small units also known as the cells. So cells are the fundamental building unit of the body. Now we can explain the first statement by taking a small example. For example, we are having a wall. The wall appears to consist of single unit, but when we closely observe the wall, we find that our wall is consist of many small bricks which are joined with each other. So bricks are the fundamental building unit of the wall. So the role that played by the brick in the wall is same to the role played by the cell in the body. So the first statement is implies body of all living organism is composed of minute units. They are known as the cells. So now come to the statement number 2, which is a cell is a mass of protoplasm containing a nucleus and bounded by cell membrane. Now this is the first part of the statement. So according to the statement number 2 is concerned, a cell is a mass of protoplasm containing a nucleus. So that the protoplasm is what? Then whatever content of the cell that present below the cell membrane is known as the protoplasm. So according to statement number 2, cell is a mass of protoplasm containing a nucleus and bounded by cell membrane. This is for the animal cell. But in case of the plant cell, just around the cell membrane, we are having cell wall is present. So that the second part of the statement, that is in many cases by cell wall also, that for the plant cell. Next come to the statement number 3. The statement number 3 is all cells are basically alike or similar in structure and metabolic activities. Now come to explanation of this. So all cells are basically alike in structure means all cells are generally basically alike in the physical organizations. For example, we say a cell having cell membrane, a cell having nucleus, a cell having the organelles, so that generally the cells are basically alike in structure and metabolic activities. Metabolic activities means first we have to understand what is metabolism. So whatever the biochemical or the sum of the biochemical reactions which occur inside our body or which occur inside the body of the living organism known as the metabolism. So the statement number 3 implies that all cells are basically alike in the metabolic activities or whatever the metabolic reactions or whatever the biochemical reactions which occurs inside the body of all living organisms, they are more or less similar. Not exactly similar, they are more or less similar. Now I will explain this by having a small example. As you know that we are having a process known as a glycolysis. By the process of glycolysis, the glucose C6H12O6 which break into 2 molecule of pyruvic acid. So a molecule of glucose has to undergo the 10 steps. The 10 steps to break into 2 molecule of the pyruvic acids. All these 10 steps of the glycolysis, they are same in us. All these 10 steps are same in plant. All these steps are same in all animals, all the plants. So we say all the cells are generally metabolically alike. Then come to the statement number 4. The statement number 4 is the function of an organism as a whole is a result of the activities and interaction of the constituent cells or body cells. Now we can explain the statement number 4 by taking a small example. Suppose I am moving my hand here, and the movement of my hand is possible due to the coordinated activities of my body cells. When my body cells, for example, nerve cells, muscle cells, bone cells, all are functioning in a coordinated manner, in a collaborating manner, so I can able to move my hand. So the statement number 4 implies that the function of a living organism is depend upon the coordinated activities or collaborating activities of the body cells. Now come to the objection of the cell theory. After the cell theory was proposed by Skelton and Swan in the year of 1839, the number of cases later observed who are not covered under the cell theory. Then we have to study this under the objection of the cell theory. And all these objections have been come from the statement of the cell theory. Now we will explain the objection or demerits of cell theory by taking the statements of the cell theory into considerations. So first come to the objection of the first statement. The first statement is the body of all living organism is composed of the minute units, the cells. This statement implies that the body of all living organism should composed of many cells. For example, in case of human, our body is composed of many cells. So this statement implies that the body of all living organism is composed of the many cells. But the cell theory could not explain the existence of unicellular organism. Suppose you take example of amoeba. In case of amoeba, the body composed of a single cell. So the cell theory didn't explain the existence of the single cellular organism. So the single cellular organisms are also known as acellular. So acellular, the single cell organisms or acellular forms are exception to cell theory or are exception to the first statement of cell theory, because first statement speak the body of all living organism composed of the many cells, but in case of unicellular organism, the body composed of a single cell. That's why the single cellular organism or acellular organisms are exception to cell theory. So now come to the statement number 2 or the drawbacks that come from the statement number 2. The statement number 2 is a cell is a mass of protoplasm containing a nucleus. So this statement implies a cell should have a nucleus. A cell should have a nucleus. But later on we found that in some prokaryotic organism, the bacteria, they do not have a two nucleus. So absence of those organisms where the nucleus is absent, they are also objection to the cell theory. Now come to the next objection. The next objection also come from the statement number 2. According to statement number 2, a cell is a mass of protoplasm containing a nucleus. A means a single nucleus. But we found many cases where the body of the living organism contain many nuclei. Nucleus singular, nucleus plural. So that the multinucleate condition, also known as synocity condition. Synocity condition. So multinucleate condition or synocity condition also exception to cell theory, because the cell theory speak that a cell should have single nucleus. Here we have got the many nuclei. Then come to the fourth objection of the cell theory. The fourth objection is the virus. The viruses are exception to cell theory, because according to cell theory, the cell should have the protoplasm, the cell should be living, but viruses do not have the protoplasm. Viruses are neither living or not dead. Being they are neither living nor dead, being they have no functional autonomy, being they do not have protoplasm, they are exception to cell theory. Now we will explain this point by taking example of the COVID-19 or the coronavirus. Now this coronavirus, this having RNA as the genetic material. These viruses or this virus do not have protoplasm, and this virus, when present in our body, it acts as living. When the virus is present outside of our body, it acts as dead. So that this virus is neither living nor dead. This virus do not have the protoplasm. Being it has the no protoplasm, it lacks functional autonomy, and that's why the viruses are exception to cell theory. Now this is the discussion about the cell theory, the statement and its objection.